Learn about expressing your likes, dislikes, what fascinates you, what interests you, and more right after this. Hola amigos, and welcome back to another episode of The Spanish Doctor, here to cure all your Spanish ills. I'll be speaking first in Spanish. Please play, pause, repeat after me. Then, after the Spanish dialogue, I will give information in English about the grammar you've just learned. Empecemos. Hola, soy Ricardo. Me gusta enseñar el español. Me gustan muchas cosas. Me encanta la música. Me gusta la salsa, el merengue y la cumbia. Me fascina el jazz. También me encanta la música alternativa. Me gusta mucho la ópera y la música clásica. Pero no me gusta ni el rap ni el country. Aunque sí me gusta un poco Dolly Parton. A Snoop Dogg y a Tommy Chong les encanta la música también. A Snoop Dogg le gusta el fútbol americano. A Tommy le interesa el cine. A los dos les gusta fumar. Mi familia es mexicana, peruana y coreana. A mis padres les gustan los frijoles. A mi esposa le encanta el kimchi. A todos nos gusta el arroz. A mi hermano le encanta la política. A mí me interesa la política, pero me molestan los políticos. ¿Y a ti qué te gusta? I spoke in the present tense, and all the AR verbs ended in either A or AN. This is usually how gustar and similar verbs are taught to English learners. However, gustar can actually have more endings, as I'll discuss later. Let's look at a common example like me gusta el taco. You may know by now that something like this is translated into English as I like the taco. However, this is not a word-for-word translation. This is a translation of convenience. We can switch the sentence around and say, el taco me gusta. Can you find the subject? The subject is el taco, whether you say el taco me gusta or me gusta el taco. This is why gusta is conjugated in third person singular. Now, what does the verb gustar mean? It means to please. It doesn't mean to like. So if I say me gusta el taco or el taco me gusta, it's like saying, the taco pleases me. Now, you may sound like a mad scientist if you go around speaking English like that, but word for word, that's essentially what we're saying in Spanish. So, what we're talking about when we use gustar, encantar, fascinar, interesar, molestar, something is causing that verb to have that effect on the people. So the pleasing aspect of the taco, that's going to be pleasing me. Me gusta el taco me gusta. When we mention the people in these sentences, we use me for me or to me, te for you or to you, le which could be to him, to her, to you in a formal way, usted. Nos, which could be to us or for us. Os, which is used in Spain, and it's to or for you in formal, vosotros. And finally, les, which is to them, to you, ustedes. You will always use these in sentences with gustar. Me, te, le, nos, os, les. The people in these sentences are not the subjects. That is why we do not use subject pronouns. Don't use yo, tú, él, ella, usted, nosotros, vosotros, ellos, ellas, ustedes as the subjects in any of these sentences. The subjects are the ones that cause the people to feel a certain way. Let's look at another example that is from the dialogue. Me encanta la música. Who is being affected? Me. What is causing me to feel a certain way? La música. La música me encanta. Me encanta la música. Encantar means to enchant. And this is something that we also don't say very often in English. Most people wouldn't say, the music enchants me, darling. But we would say something like, I love the music. So, translators choose that expression over the music enchants me. Let's look at another example from the dialogue. A mis padres les gustan los frijoles. Who is being affected in this sentence? Mis padres. A mis padres les gustan los frijoles. Now, frijoles are beans. So, these beans make my parents feel a certain way. They like them. But the direct translation would be, beans please my parents. We're using les because the people that are being pleased are plural, my parents. Now remember, les could mean to them. It could be a ellos, a ellas, a ustedes. So it could also mean to or for you. Now I'm talking about my parents. They're plural. We can't use me, te, or le. We have to choose between nos, os, or les. Remember that we use nos if there is a yo, or in this case, a me involved, a first person. There's no first person. I'm talking about my parents. In Spain, they would use os if they're speaking directly to the people, but neither in Spain nor in Latin America are we speaking directly to that person. We're talking about them. So we have to choose third person, plural. A mis padres les gustan los frijoles. And now, for the an in gustan, we get that from los frijoles, because that's the subject, los frijoles. Now, what if only my mother likes beans? Then I would say, a mi madre le gustan los frijoles. I have to choose from me, te, and le to talk about her. It's the third person. I'm talking about her, le. And it's still gustan because frijoles is plural. A mi madre le gustan los frijoles. If we have a compound subject, the subject closer to the verb will conjugate that verb. For example, me interesa la política y los políticos. Me interesan los políticos y la política. This is one area in which the conjugation gets a little bit fuzzy. It's also a little bit fuzzy if we have two verbs as the compound subject. Me gusta bailar y cantar. One thing to remember about infinitives in Spanish is that they are always singular and masculine. In this case, it doesn't matter that the verbs are masculine, but I do want you to remember that for future reference. If I say nos interesa bailar, that means dancing interests us. We use the infinitive form in Spanish as a noun. Nadar, for example, is how we say to swim, or how we say swimming. Nadar es bueno. It is singular. It can be used as a subject. It is an infinitive verb. So I've explained to you that verbs like gustar, fascinar, interesar, importar, molestar are essentially like any other verb. There are a couple cases when you would follow some different kind of rule, but those are exceptions. Otherwise, they're really just like any other AR verb, at least the ones I've spoken about. There are other verbs that we'll talk about later, but the verbs that I mentioned today, they're all AR verbs, and you've only learned how to use A and AN with these verbs. However, since they are just like any other AR verb, you can do other things with these verbs that are not commonly taught in textbooks. For example, I told you don't use yo when you are conjugating these verbs. Don't use subject pronouns in general. But if you do say something like yo me, you can't say yo me gusta, but you could say yo me gustó. What is the subject, or who is the subject in that case? It would be yo. And who would I be pleasing? Myself. Yo me gusto. Or that could be something like I like myself. Not common, but that could be said. Something that is frequently said is tú me gustas or me gustas. If you translate that word for word, it's like you please me. It might sound a little odd. So this would be something like I like you. In this song by Manu Chao, he says me gustas tú. Me gusta volver, me gustas tú. Me gusta marihuana. Sorry about that. My point is, he says, me gustas tú, tú me gustas. You are pleasing to me. I like you. There's also a poem by Pablo Neruda, me gustas cuando callas. When you are silent is when I like you, or something to that effect. Bueno amigos, muchas gracias, and thank you for joining me in another episode of The Spanish Doctor. Tell me down below what interests you, what fascinates you, what is important to you, what bothers you en español. Suscríbete, échame un me gusta y nos vemos. Adiós.